Good morning, guys. Got another recall announcement to bring you this morning. So it affects trucks like you see here, and it may be something that really will help you out. So if you've got a 2021 model Ram 1500 that has the Hemi 5.7 liter Hemi with the mild hybrid system, the one they call eTorque. If you've got one of those trucks, and you've noticed that sometimes it'll just randomly shut down and die on you in traffic, which obviously is very dangerous. There was a recall announcement that came out this morning that kind of addresses that issue. So, to be clear, this is only going to affect the ones that have the eTorque mild hybrid system. Now, for a long time, you've heard me talk about this particular truck that you see here. This is one of the very last ones that Ram built with the Hemi V8 and without the mild hybrid system. This is not an eTorque model. It's just a regular 5.7 liter Hemi. It doesn't have the motor generator unit on the engine or any of the associated wiring or the 48 volt battery pack in the cab or any of that stuff. It doesn't have any of that on it. It's just a simple, reliable, traditional V8 engine. And when I got this truck last summer, I didn't realize at the time that this was one of the very last ones that they were going to build like that. So I guess I kind of got lucky. But the guys who have the one with the eTorque system on it, they've had a whole lot of problems, and there's been a lot of complaints with them, just various things, you know. But this recall is really interesting because, like I said, it addresses an issue that could be really dangerous. If you're out in traffic and you're driving and the engine just shuts off, obviously that's not good. So what they've done is they have recalled all of the 2021 models. I'm going to show you in just a second how to check and see the actual date that your truck was built. But basically, I think June the 3rd of 2020 through September 12th of 2021. I think that's the date range. If your truck was built in that date range, and it has the mild hybrid system on it with the Hemi engine, then your truck is covered under this recall from what I understand. So we're talking about a lot of trucks. And what they're going to do, I guess, is they're going to update the software, because from what I read, the problem is that the tune that they put in those trucks with the eTorque system can cause the engine to run way too rich. And when the engine is running really rich like that, I guess it throws some red flags in the software programming, and it's like, yeah, this is not good, and it just shuts down. You know, the programming in the truck seems to be the main problem with it. Obviously, those eTorque trucks have had other issues associated with the hardware, but this recall seems to deal with the software. So I guess what they're going to do is they're going to bring your truck into the dealership. They're going to update the software so that the engine does not run too rich, and this problem that causes it to shut down will go away. So anyway, that's the date range that I read, and you need to check your truck. And like I said, I'm going to show you how to do that very easily here in just a minute. So that affects the 2021 models. The interesting thing about it, though, is there have been people with 2020 models, and maybe even older than that, with the eTorque system that have had the same problem. I was just reading a thread on the forum this morning where a lady with a 2020 model had the same thing happen. She said they were driving the truck down the road and it just shut down on her, just completely quit. And so it's interesting how they do these recalls. You know, they seem to pick out certain date ranges when they know good and well that really all of these trucks could have that issue. But I don't know, maybe in the future they will expand the recall. Sometimes they do that. But anyhow, let me come get the camera and come over here and give you a close-up, and I'll show you how to check yours to see if it's in that date range. But if it's a 2021 model, it's pretty much going to be covered, so you need to get this checked out. So what you're going to want to do is come over here to the driver's side and open the door, and you'll see these stickers down here on the door jamb. They have all kinds of information on them. You know, there's your VIN number and your load information, tire information, and all that kind of stuff. But if you zoom in right here, you'll see month, day, and hour. All right. And then this 6-digit code right here will tell you, like for example, mine was built June 21st, and the 02 is the time of day. That's the hour. So this would be 2 o'clock in the morning. So this truck was built June 21st at 2 in the morning, and it's a 2022 model. It was built back in 2022, of course. You can see right here where it says built June of 2022. All right, so all this information that you need is right here on this sticker. You have the year that it was built, you've got the month and the day, and you've got the hour even that it was built. Yeah, so the assumption is that the eTorque Hemi trucks that are built before that date range or after that date range are not affected by this. But keep a close eye on your truck, and you know, if you have this issue where it stalls out on you while you're driving, the engine just shuts down on you, document all of that, you know, make good records of that, share that with your dealership, you know, maybe even contact Ram customer care and let them know what's going on. You know, we need to get the word out there, because if other people are truly having the same issue, they can expand the recall to cover more models. You know, but they're going to rely on data that comes from customers, unfortunately, to figure out which ones they need to include in the recall. So if you do have this problem, make sure that you don't just ignore it. You know, do some good documentation, and then let your dealership know at least, if not Ram. But hopefully they will get this figured out pretty quickly with you know, exactly which trucks need to be recalled. And if it's just as simple as getting a software update, I mean, you're looking at maybe an hour at the dealership. You know, you call them up and schedule an appointment, and my experience has been that within an hour they can get your truck in and out once you get there, so it shouldn't be a major problem. Now, as for me, like I said, I'm really happy that I ended up getting a truck that doesn't have that eTorque system. I always follow the KISS principle, you know, keep it simple. I think the eTorque system maybe in certain situations can save you a little bit of gasoline, but my view was, you know, the motor generator unit under the hood is like $1,400 list price. Well, that was a couple of years ago. It may be much more now with all this inflation. So you're looking at a lot of money for that thing. I can buy an alternator for $200. You know, versus 1,400 plus for the MGU. You know, the 48-volt battery pack eventually is going to need to be replaced. We've also seen some cases of those catching fire, and since it's mounted at the back of the cab, that's not a good situation. I just didn't want to fool with all that stuff. You know, if I end up keeping this truck long term, I didn't want to have to deal with all of that expensive, aggravating stuff. I just wanted a simple V8 truck, and I just, like I said, I got lucky to get one of the last ones, but I do feel for you people who have the eTorque one, who have had this issue with the truck stalling. So I just thought I'd bring you this info. It's pretty interesting that they finally have acknowledged it. They've issued a recall. And like I said, hopefully they can just update your software and get you guys going again. That's all I've got for now. Appreciate you watching. We'll talk to you later.